Hello, folks. It's Saturday, the 6th of April, and I'm coming on mainly to say thank you. Thank you for coming out and showing me some support yesterday. I've mailed out most of the CDs, and the rest go out today. I really appreciate your support. I also appreciate the feedback already from folks who have already bought the music, letting me know that they like it and they recognize that it's good. Thank you. You folks that are about to receive the music, please listen to the stuff. It's good stuff. I want to thank Fright Night. That's the online name where they listed everything that I showed of my discography. And when I saw it, it was like, wow, that impresses even me. What's funny, and I'm going to move the lamp. See, when I sit a certain way, it looks like a hat on my head. Anyway, it also showed me that I've regarding my CDs, I recently tried to put all of the CDs that are not just home copies, but stuff that's been released to the public. I've tried to put them all in one place, and I still haven't achieved it. There's like 3 or 4 more that must be in the archives. I have to find them. Some folks got a hold of me and asked if I had extra copies of certain things, and I don't. What I have to sell is what I have to sell. I'd be really surprised if, when I get into my archives, I find an extra copy of Sound Waves or something. If I do, I'll let you know, but I kind of doubt it. And like anybody else, we need money as a resource. So me making this money is vital. Of course, I'm going to buy some records. That's my pleasure. But having money in the bank for emergencies and for repairs on the house and for personal emergencies, most people live check to check, so if I can have a couple hundred bucks in the bank, that's better than just $20 laying in a drawer. And the music sales help. They do. So thank you. Now on to some music. Yes, my favorite thing to do is all related to music. And my favorite toy are records. So I bought some yesterday because a special order of mine came in at Grapefruit. And Simon told me, if you wait, if you give me an hour after opening, I've got some used set out that I know that there's stuff in there that you'll like. So I did that. I waited, and even though I waited, Simon still didn't have them set out. Grapefruit Records is small enough that it can be run by one person. When his partner Mike moved to California, that was a drag, because 2 people was perfect. And David Nance is the other person that now runs it with Simon, but David's out on tour, so it's all Simon. So anyway, I waited around, and he pulled them out. But let me show the record that I had ordered. Recently I talked about how much I like Laurel Halo. And then I saw she had a new release. It's a split release. And of all things, it's on the GRM label. So this came in. It's a split with Laurel Halo on one side with Octavia. And this is the surprise for me. Jessica Ekomane, Manifolds. Now, if I'd heard of this woman, I'd forgotten. Wow. Now, I really like Laurel Halo. This is an ambient piece of hers, long and slow. This is really dynamic. This is a real find. Excuse me. Very, very happy to add this to the collection. Laurel Halo and Jessica Ekomane. I dare say she may have come to Omaha through the Bemis, and I might have missed it. That reminds me, before I forget, so I just heard from the Bemis because they needed me to, pardon me, the morning. I'm just waking up, scratching, itching, you know, getting ready for the day. So I've got a couple things coming out this year already. One is a track that's going to be on this compilation album that the Bemis is curating, and they just got a hold of me yesterday to proofread the credits. I'm pretty excited now. I was excited before that I have one new song coming out on this vinyl. It'll be on vinyl. Compilation of artists who have performed at Low End at Bemis. This performance series they have, which started a couple of years ago, and I was the second person to play in the series. So it's a real honor. But besides me on this vinyl release, which is I think out by summer, More Mothers are going to be on it, and Jamie Branch, and Glow in the Dark, and some other people that I can't remember. But I'm going to be in a record with More Mother. That's pleasing. It's not an old track; it's a brand new track. No one's heard it. That's going to be on this this compilation. So I picked up a few records and talked about it with Simon, because you can't buy a few records cheaply anymore, hardly. Brand new Laetitia Sadier from Stereolab. I've been talking about Stereolab. I love them. And this is her new album, Rooting for Love. Rooting for Love. Haven't quite made out the graphics for the cover. This is real good. Stereolab lovers, you're going to love it. It's not the colored, it's just black vinyl. Not just, it's black vinyl. You can tell that she wrote for Stereolab, but it's not Stereolab. It's a continuation of what Laetitia Sadier is into. And I played it all the way through twice already. Really like this. Really like it a lot. So while I was down there, I see here, I'm going to have to be talking about another death. People are dying all the time. I had never seen this. And I collect Heldon. Heldon, live in Metz. Interesting cover. I had never seen this. This is a live recording from 1977 that was released in 2018. So when I saw this in the used update from Simon, I said, that's probably a bootleg, eh? I've never heard of that. And he said, no, this is a authorized release. It's low quality as far as the sound quality. It's a really good performance, though. Listen to this all the way through. This is where Robert Fripp and King Crimson gave inspiration, and this is a whole thing to itself. Heldon, if you haven't heard them, you hear in the older Heldon the influence of Robert Fripp. As they went on, they start their own thing. I love it. I love it. So I pulled this out because we found out that drummer extraordinaire of the Heath brothers, Albert Toodie Heath, passed away. Rest in peace. Again, we're getting, all the greats. That great golden period of music, which is not going to be repeated. For me, the 50s through the 70s. My main life. Some of the greatest musicians ever. They're 70, 80, 90 years old now. So people are passing away. So Albert Toodie Heath, on here it's spelled Toodie, but they spell it with a T mostly. Albert Toy Heath, excellent jazz drummer. I have him on many jazz albums, but this is a real collectible one. Kawaida, Black Consciousness. When this came out, it was real important. You know, the whole first part of this. Well, the Kawaida is describing the terms that Black people needed to learn African language to words of strength and good values. This is a really good album. And this is the second pressing. The first pressing is real expensive. This one is too. And it was a cheap label, Trip. So the record quality, the vinyl quality is really poor actually. But because of it's collectible. And I got one. I've had it for a long time. It's a great album. Rest in peace, Toy Heath. Someone reminded me about Criss Cross of Ultravox. I knew. There's so many people just dying, dropping like flies, literally. Finally got this on vinyl. I've had it forever on CD. Ra Tempel, Join In. And this is the sort of thing that, you know, this is for the collection. I played some of this already, but it mainly was nostalgic. I remember back in the day, my friends had that copy of this, the Reese Brothers. And we just stone out, get totally stoned and listen to this. And that's what it's for. Glad to add it to the collection. Two more I'll show. Then I'm going to go to the post office and sell and send up the latest batch of CDs I sold yesterday. Thank you again, people. Was so happy this showed up in the used yesterday at Grapefruit because their records are hard to find. Supersilent. Number 13. I have 4 of them now. I'd like to get them all. This is not jazz, but these are musicians who can play jazz. They improvise. It's very, you know, when I say improvise, some people will default to a certain thing in their head. This doesn't fit that. It's very unique. I tried to describe this to Simon because I asked him if he had heard this yet, you know. He said he hadn't. He was bummed that in a way, he said he was bummed that I was buying it because then he can't play. I said, yeah, this is very unique. Death Prod is involved with this. Kim, this is just some badass shit. Supersilent. I was real happy to get that. And the other one, wow, I already have this, but a reissue. But this is an older reissue with the cover in full. So yes, this is going home with me. Agitation Free, Malesch. It's a French reissue. It's not on Vertigo, but it's blue vinyl. And this came out in 1978, just a few years after it was originally released. It's legitimate. It's not a bootleg. I have the reissues with the reconfigured covers. I like this cover. And this is a classic German cosmic music album. Really, it's a jam album, but it has Eastern elements. And for as young as these guys were, this sounds like it's music beyond their years. This one I paid for. Of course, Simon gave me a little bit of a break, but when we looked it up and saw what it goes for, it's like, you know, I got to charge you this much for it. I said, it's going home with me, baby. When am I ever going to see this again? Much less a Vertigo original, which would be hundreds of dollars, which I'm not willing. Not willing. Okay, I'll show one more. I have a couple more here that I got, but I'll show one more. Been after this for a while, but not an original. The Skipper, Henry Franklin, I've got his other album, one of his other albums on original. This is killer jazz, if you have never heard this. Oscar Bashir on trumpet, Charles Owen, Fred Leto and Tip Jones on percussion. This is badass. The cover, yeah, this is it. Look at, he's letting you know. I know I made something. This is real, real strong. Excellent jazz. Fire, fire. Pure fire. Okay? So that's where it's at. I want to say again, thank you for the show of support. As I was pointing out, I get so many views within hours, my videos have 500-600 views. And then within 24 hours, let me look and see here. I didn't even look at comments yet. I ain't lying. Let's see here. Content. My videos. Yesterday's video. 986 views. Thursdays, 1,500. Wednesdays, 1,500. Tuesdays, 1,600. Monday, Sunday, 1,600 views each. So what I'm saying by pointing that out is the folks who not finally, but several people left a message saying, I'm finally dropping a dime on you. I'm finally giving you a listen, or finally offering you something. I really appreciate the channel. And those messages are very much appreciated, folks. Thank you. Some people bought copies to give away. Cool. Other folks just bought tracks, digital tracks. Thank you. I don't expect this to happen every month. It would be nice, before I forget. So, Woven Territories. We're with Brian Day. I just got a hold of him this morning. I have 3 copies left. This is a wonderful work. And so I asked Brian, do you have any more? And so he's sending me more. So I only have 3 more copies now. This is a beautiful piece of work. I love my great-nephew Gabriel's painting on the cover. I love Brian Day as a person. He's very creative, but he's a sweet, sweet person. So these are going. And people, the response, people are telling me they really like it. It's good work. And we've gotten some reviews. Only 3 left for now. If you want it, go ahead and order it. I'm going to probably repost this on my Bandcamp because I know people want this, but you kind of do need to be able to just go to the market and say, I want that, and buy it. And right now you can't. You have to ask me, you got any more? I got one inquiry from Ghost and Bell. I got one for you if you're going to buy it, brother. I'd love you to have it. So probably what I'll do is repost this on my Bandcamp site, but the only digital songs available will be the ones that I wrote without Steve. But it'll be a way of buying the physical CD, okay? When you buy it on Bandcamp, you won't get all the songs digitally because of the singer's copyright bullshit with me. But you can get the CD. So I don't know that I'll do that today, but I'll get this done shortly. Okay? That's what's on my mind. Mostly. Can't think of everything else. Let me go to the post office. I was going to look at the comments. I like this, people. Thank you. I appreciate hearing from you folks, letting me know that we need to speak up and tell the truth about what's going on in the world. Yes, unfortunately, things won't get better. People don't want to grow up. I'm sort of reading a bit of what one post is saying. And then people attack us because they don't want to hear the truth. They just want to follow the herd. And that's really true. We're dealing with a cult mentality right now. We have people who claim to be Christians calling Donald Trump the chosen one. That is madness. I mean, it's like, how can you call yourself a Christian and then go and just all you got to do is look at anything about Jesus's life and compare it to Donald Trump. Would Jesus do that? Would Jesus do that? Jesus would be at the front of the line trying to, like with the in the Bible, the bank, the money lenders kicking tables over. He'd be at the front of the line telling Donald Trump, stand down with your horrible behavior. Yes, gotta speak out against the bullshit con. It's amazing and sad how many people still are in thrall to him. I feel that it's just a matter of time now that the courts will get the job done, that he will not be allowed to step into the presidency again. That would, when it happened the first time, I just about lost my mind. I was saying, what is wrong with people? Couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. I said, oh my God, he won. Something's wrong with this world. So I will speak out. And it's just really obvious that the only thing that people will do who support him will childishly name call and just be immature and illogical. No reason to be afraid of that. I need to call that stuff out. We need people to grow up and be adults. Okay, that's enough. I'm headed to the post office.